Hi, my name is Jim Posner. I'm the founder of the Mindful Advantage and the Don't Panic Project. And welcome to video number 2 in this 3-part series on how to overcome stress and avoid anxiety prior to high-pressure situations. So yesterday we talked about the importance of breathing into the belly, something known as rhythmic diaphragmatic breathing. It's a scientifically proven method to lower stress and reduce anxiety and even create a higher sense of grounding. And it can also actually lower your blood pressure when you cultivate this skill. So it's a really powerful tool and something that can be practiced and learned and used throughout the day or anytime you're about to go into a perceived stressful situation, such as going in to take a test or an interview or giving a speech, whatever the case may be. So today's tip and skill that I'm going to talk about is something called awareness dialogue. Now, I'm a mindfulness meditation instructor, and mindfulness is really just another term for awareness. So what is awareness dialogue? Well, I think the best way for me to explain this is to relay a story about my son when he was in kindergarten. So that might sound a little strange. What does a kindergarten child have to do with, an adult and overcoming stress and anxiety? Well, just follow along for a moment and you'll see. So when my son was 5 and started kindergarten, he had tremendous separation anxiety. So he'd be sitting in school for about 5, 10, 15 minutes, and then all of a sudden get up from his chair, and the teacher would say, Sebastian, what are you doing? And he'd be walking over to the coat rack and he'd say, I'm going to get my coat and I'm going home. Because he just couldn't bear being away from his mom, and kindergarten was new and he was terrified. So the teacher would say, well, how are you going to get home? And we live in New York City, so he'd say, oh, I'm just going to take the subway and, and that's it. I'm going to head home on the subway. So the teacher was unable to coax him back into his chair, and this became a daily thing, and the teacher had to start sending him to the principal's office because it was very disruptive for the classroom. So what did we do? Well, we taught him this mindfulness meditation technique called awareness. We simply taught him to basically label his feelings. Now, let me explain. I told him, tomorrow when you're sitting in class and you start to feel anxious about being away from mommy, what I want you to do is just say to yourself, okay, I'm feeling anxious. I'm really nervous about not being with mom. And then I would tell them the next level thing that I want you to do is say, it's okay to feel this way. It's normal to feel this way. And a lot of the other kids that are in this class with me probably feel the same way. And then after you go through that dialogue, I want you to just go and concentrate on breathing into your belly. And I had gone through a couple of exercises with him to teach him how to do that. So within a couple of days, I kid you not, this whole problem was solved. We had no more calls from the principal. There was no more disrupting class. And, I talked to him about it every night also and asked him how it was going. And he said to me, Daddy, I'm just doing exactly what you said. Whenever I start to feel anxious, I just tell myself that it's okay to feel this way and it's normal to feel this way. And a lot of other kids probably feel this way. And then I would just do a little breathing exercise that we talked about. So I was very proud of him, and he remembered to do it when he was feeling anxious, and he got through this in a really quick time. So the point is once we bring awareness to our feelings and thoughts and emotions, it makes it a lot easier to move through those thoughts and feelings and emotions, especially if they're anxious thoughts. And think about it. A lot of times anxious thoughts come up and we try to push them away, and that makes them more intense. When I was a kid, I think if I was going through the same thing, the protocol probably would have been for my father to say, you've got to sit down in your chair and stay in class, and you've got to stay in class, otherwise you're going to be in big trouble. So, what would that do? Well, that would even create more anxiety. And what's going on there? Well, he's not saying it's okay to feel this way and it's normal. He's basically stifling my feelings and creating more stress. So a lot of times, if you're about to go into a high pressure situation, we kind of tend to do that to ourselves. And in the sense that maybe let's give the example of going to do a public speaking engagement. And maybe you're nervous about that public speaking engagement. So what happens internally in that internal dialogue, a lot of times is we say, oh my God, I'm so nervous. What if I fail? What if I don't do well? And, I wish I wasn't nervous, and I just wish this feeling would stop. So what we're doing there is we're trying to push the feelings away. Now, the proper way to deal with the situation, the mindful way, would be to use the following dialogue. All right, I'm about to give a big speech. I'm a little bit nervous. It's normal to feel nervous. It's okay to feel this way. Most people that have to give big speeches feel a little anxious before they give a big speech. And then when you use that awareness dialogue, you're really labeling your feelings, and you're telling yourself it's okay to feel this way. It's normal to feel this way. You're normalizing the feelings and the emotions. And when you do this, it makes it a lot easier to get through those emotions, and they tend not to build up and get worse and worse and snowball out of control. So that is the power of awareness dialogue. So I highly recommend next time, before you go into a test or an interview, if you're a lawyer about to go into court, if you're about to go pitch a customer on some new product, you can use some of this awareness dialogue. And I guarantee you that it's going to have a calming effect. It's going to actually even clear your head and empty some of that mental clutter, and you will perform better. So do some of this awareness dialogue with some of the rhythmic diaphragmatic breathing that we talked about yesterday, and I guarantee that you're going to be less stressed and perform better next time you have to go into a high pressure situation. So stay tuned tomorrow. Stay tuned for tomorrow's third video in this series, and thanks again for being here. Jim Posner from the Mindful Advantage. Thank you.